Hey everyone, my name is Kabi, this is Kabi World Legends, and today I'm going to show you an interesting game on the Oblivion River against Igor. We talked to the guys and decided to make a couple of training games this evening. So I tried my new strategy once again, and I thought I would show you what is it, and probably it can be useful for you to win the games or just get better understanding. Last time, a couple of months ago, I came up with the pure defendant strategy straight into the heroes and the strong units, but this one is somewhat opposite to that one. So this one will be about the spam of the low tier unit, low quality units, but of the great amount that allows you to seize the map control. And for the dark, it is the most convenient one in my from my perspective right now, because the dark has such a wonderful unit as a skeleton archer. And even though skeleton archer is considered an unplayable unit from the majority of the strong players right now, I actually don't agree with that. And to be honest with you, I can say that we devs sometimes get a bit annoyed of the consumptions that our players come up with when they say like, this is useless, or this is simbar, or we don't consider doing this thing against that thing because this thing sucks. So we are really reluctant to believe that from their words. So sometimes we just go out and play like mass skeleton archers or mass bombers or whatever they say do not work, to sometimes to see that it actually does work. And this is the story pretty much about the skeleton archer I play right now. But another important thing I'd like for you guys to understand, especially if you are more of the new players to this game, or actually I guess any other RTS strategy as well, it doesn't matter what you are gonna play. So in this game, as I already shared, I'm gonna play the skeleton archers, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna jump head first to the skeleton archers from the first minute. So it doesn't work sometimes, and sometimes it's not the best approach, and I even think that it is precisely why many players think that skeleton archers suck, because they sort of go the under obelisk on the first tier, add the second Rex on, and try to spam the skeleton archers, and the opponent just being like, well, I spam swordsman, I get my princess, I'm fine. I can destroy your tier 1 shit that you have an amount of 10 things with just one active ability. So you'll see my approach to the skeleton archer, but what I was trying to say is that no matter what you're gonna play, you still need to have a convenient opening. And to me, the most convenient opening for the dark faction right now is the Goblin Lab and the Alchemist. So I really like Alchemist because this hero is very safe. It has it can attack air, it can take down guys like knights, and of course a big amount of swordsman is not scary to Alchemist like at all, because of the puddle and also the magic damage. So it also synergizes with the goons, so you sort of just keep spamming the goons, and you can see that I'm already building the 6th one, but I'm actually about to, of course, lose one of the goons in the enemy's main base. Actually, I thought that Igor was playing straight to the knights and the copters, because I saw that the strongest player of their team, who is DL Snowy, actually tends to play straight to the copter without any other units. So I thought that I'll probably catch the timing where he didn't have the one yet, but it wasn't the case. And I ended up losing Goon, but still I know that my opponent playing Knight Sculptors. And I must actually mention that Igor is most accomplished as a dark player. Light faction is not his main, so it makes the game a bit easier for me, of course. As for me, I actually play both, but probably I'm slightly better as dark, I believe. I think I have slightly higher rating as dark, but Igor took the third place on our tournaments as dark once, so he's really good in dark, but this time around he decided to go light up against me in this match. I'm not sure if he sort of switched to it, because many players think that light faction is stronger now because of the wind mage and the snowstorm combo. But anyways, let's get back to the game. So I just got my shit on the map, which is obviously Alchemist and the Goon, and took my chest. So I limited myself to take just my own chest, not trying to get the second one. So we sometimes call it the barter chests, which means that we agree that I take one and you take the other. And here I have the, well, what I might call it, the peculiar technique I'm gonna apply. So you can notice that I am up to 80 mana right now, so I'm not using the second whip. And I'm about to try to take down the enemy's citadel. It is the strategy that the other devs using lately. I already mentioned that many players was skipping bombers like entirely, so Rigard and White Unicorn thought that, wait, what if bombers can actually be useful? And I even uploaded one game with them using bombers trying to take down... White Unicorn was trying to take down the main building. Didn't work that time, but I also saw many games where it actually did work, so I decided to try. And the other reason for that is that for some reason we play on the Asian server. So we have 200 plus ping. And that means reacting on the bombers very hard. So I'm just trying to abuse that, because I can always click bombers, but it can be harder for my opponent to react. So it seems that he was blindly expecting aeronauts from me, as far as he saw the goblin tech. But I didn't make a single aeronaut, but I'm trying to apply the circle of power, but it seems that it is slightly out of place. So you can notice how bombers approach the castle and they are losing that crit buff. So I actually lost 4 bombers along with the 100 mana scroll for pretty much nothing. And all I have in a change is dealing a lot of damage to the units, but I also lost the alchemist, so that was a huge mess from me. But I just thought that probably it was gonna work, but actually the right call from me would be to take down the mana tower with 1 bomber and then apply the correct circle of power and try to take down the castle. But it is what I know right now, but in the game I wasn't able to make a right decision. But at the same time, in the background, I'm adding the 3rd barracks, and I'm starting to make hell a lot of the skeleton archer. Interestingly enough, if you get the chests, you can spam skeleton archers out of 3 barracks. And you will see this economy throughout this game. So it is... I have 4 workers on the gold, and it is spending my gold like entirely. So now it's almost 10th minute mark, so I'm about to take rather either mana well or the chest. So I started going on the mana well, but then I thought, wait a minute, he's got a lot of knights, so probably I'm better take the chest first and mana well later. There is also the mid chest, but I obviously lost that one. Not exactly obviously, but most likely that was pretty much the position where he came back from when I was attacking. So at the same time I'm upgrading my altar of heroes because I'm gonna get the Eater, because the obvious weak point of my army is that I don't have anyone tanking, because Alchemist is not really a tanky hero if it comes down to the melee fight, and the Skeleton Archers, well, they don't have a penalty in the close fight anymore, but they are still not like perfect close fighters. So I'm gonna add the Eater, and later on I'm also gonna add the drills. So it is why I can still start from the Goblin tech and be fine. I also added the Goblin Tower, as you may have noticed, so it even took down the enemy harassment with 2 knights. But that was just the reaction on my enemy having knight. Blindly I wouldn't be doing the Goblin Tower, because I have a lot of Skeleton Archers, and the nice thing about playing Skeleton Archers and not X-Masters is actually that you have them popping out like every here and then, every 12 seconds or what, you have another 3 on your base, so almost any particular second you have Skeleton Archers just popped out or just heading out from the base. Anyway, you have them close, you have someone to work with. Alright, now I ran into the princess, so Igor using the great combo, the Fan of Pharaohs along with the Magic Blast, spending on me an active ability and the 75 mana, and all he got is 1 damaged Skeleton Archer. And the other are, well, they are not full HP, but they are healing for free because they are undead. And here I'm about to take a fight. I'm completely fine. Alright, I'm losing yet another 3 Skeleton Archers, connecting bombers to the enemy. Igor is doing a great job splitting the units on such a high ping. You see how I'm using Puddle with such ping, because it is almost 300 milliseconds right now, so it was completely out of place, but I still let it go because it healed my Alchemist a bit, and I'm just pursuing my opponent, and at the same time I'm about to see if he captured his mana well, because I want to have more mana to work with. Probably I can use the Circle of Power or something else, but right now I actually have 100, and probably I should have used something here, but I completely forgot about it, to be honest. I was paying all my attention on the Eater, who was approaching to try to use an active ability and to actually stun the Paladin, but you can see that Igor was swift enough to get back, and here he must be having a tower, right? But I'm still stunning Paladins, so alright, I'm not gonna take it down, it seems, because active ability ran out and Igor started getting Guardsmen, probably just for being tanky, to try to surpass the weak Skeleton Archers, because many players don't believe the Skeleton Archers can survive anything, and well, actually they can't, but the trick is just look on the minimap. Look on the minimap and see how many Skeleton Archers still emerge. So they keep reinforcing all the time, and it's not really important if you lose many, but you always have them on the map, and the trick is that for the opponent it is extremely hard to apply any pressure on the map and to steal any object, because you always have something rolling throughout the whole map. So I'm like 100% having the bottom right, and I'm even trying to fight for the top left too. Now I'm seeing that 15th minute mark emerging, and the very important part of this strategy is that you really have to maintain the control of the chest, but the good news is that you have all the tools you need for that, because again you are reinforcing, you are going from that actual spot in the middle where the chest is about to pop up, and anytime you can take your 3 skeletons that just came from your axe, and the 3 skeletons is a very powerful combo actually. 3 skeletons can easily take down the biker or the copter, and they can even drag time from the princess. I believe they can't kill the princess really, but she can't kill them quick enough before the other 3 will come. So anyway, here my attack has been defended in the end after like 3 minutes fight, but you can see that I don't even care, because in the process I took all the 3 chests on the map, and sure, I'm about to re-summon the heroes and get in my 3rd, oh actually that is the 2nd mana well to get more, to get access to the more expensive scrolls, and I'm gonna steal the objects from my enemy. Igor is doing a great call. He's taking his princess, trying to see what's happening in the bottom right. What if I forgot about the chest? There's always a possibility that your opponent was so fond of fighting you that he just forgot about taking the chest. But actually I am already started getting drills. It seems that I'm clicking that fast that now that I commentate I didn't really realize when did I make it, but I clearly believe how I was doing this in the game. So just as I got to the 3rd tier and maxed out the 3rd tier limit, I added the workshop, so I traded the limit. So I added more drills, and now I'm about to upgrade the main building. So I'm getting upgrade to the 4th tier and keep applying pressure. The bad news is that the princess is on the other part of the map, but the good news that the princess is not here, so I can make a dangerous attack on my enemy. And something's happening on the other side of the map. It seems that the princess was trying to cut the reinforcements, or probably just was rallying to the other watchtower, I'm not really sure. Now I'm trying to take down the tower of the light magic, because it annoys me with the high damage on the skeleton archers and also slowing down. And it seems that Igor's not paying attention to the princess, so I can take her down easily using the Eater's active ability, and the princess is already very exposed and on very low HP. I'm at the same time losing Alchemist, but the great news that I'm really taking a lot of bikers, pretty much every single one, and it seems that some of my army just casually went from the bottom side. I wasn't even paying attention, but the guys are doing the great job. They are split it by themselves, so they are not getting many splash damage, and they keep destroying the towers. I'm using sabotage. I can only use it on the mana tower, but it seems that I'm not actually about to finish off anything there, so that was pretty much the waste of mana. But well, I'm still above 100, so I'm fine. And I'm gonna use my Eater to take back the right mana well. And the left one, I have 1 skeleton archer, and I'm keep producing units. I'm also trying to make sure that my opponent is not taking the 2nd base, because I already lost on this map when I didn't realize that my opponent, who was Rigard that time around. Last time I streamed, actually, I played against Rigard, and of course when you play and you speak, it is disturbing you, so I didn't notice in the process that the base was actually mined out already. So I was thinking I was trading positively, but I was far behind on resources. So this time I learned the lesson. So this time I left one unit. And another great strong side of the skeleton archers is that they only cost you 2 food, as low as the worker does. And that means that you can freely use the skeleton archers on the different objects. Of course, skeleton warriors are even better, but you can see how tight I am on the gold. Even though I keep collecting all the chests on the map, but right now I'm probably about to lose the top one because of the princess, but I was still very close. But I'm trying to move from throughout the middle bridge to that side on the map and actually catch the princess, because then she probably is going to withdraw back to her base, because now she is alone. Probably she can try to take the watchtower. I'm not sure what happened to this sniper, why he ended up being here. Actually, in the game I thought that my opponent's probably gonna move out with his entire army, but it seems not to be the case. Probably he just moved back, I'm not sure, but anyways, here is the princess, and he already used the magic blast, so I don't believe that he can be having anything apart from another magic blast. But hardly he can have any more mana. And I'm gonna split my units a little bit to prevent him from using the successful scrolls. So just using Fan of Arrows, hitting the 3 guys. Alright, here is the magic blast. And many players think that if this can happen, that the units become like useless, but I don't really think so. I'm not sure what happened here, to be honest, but I applied the scroll to the entirely wrong place. It seems that I accidentally pressed the left part of the screen with my palm. So I already thought about playing in the gloves probably to prevent this, I'm not sure. Maybe it can be a little too warm, but it happens sometimes to me. But funnily enough, I almost killed the sanctuary, but the sanctuary is not the essential building for Igor here, because Igor's not really playing elves, but human and the dwarves. So he's trying to play bikers. I'm not sure really why he needs the snipers. Probably his idea is that the snipers are to kill the heroes and the bikers are to kill the skeleton archers along with the scrolls. But the problem is that if your opponent is playing the skeleton archers in the late game correctly, you are not gonna have a lot of mana, because it is very hard to surpass the skeleton archers and take the map control, because they are everywhere. And your game really comes down to one successful fight, from my opinion, and Igor is not able to give such a fight just yet. So my Ether goes very low, but I use an active ability because it increases speed a little bit. It seems that I'm at a swordsman on the lower bridge, but of course the most crucial thing happens in the mid bridge. And I see if I can probably safely use a recovery scroll on the Ether, and the Ether is gonna restore like half of his HP by the next fight, so I'm successfully saving that one. And in the end I decided to add the Dark Gate and see if I can take the second base. I could also try to get the lower one, and it could be even safer, because my opponents sometimes keep advancing on the top left part of the map, but at the same time that means that I wanna be in the top left on the map, and I'm there right now. So my army just closer to this place, and it can save me like a minute of time, and I'm not really about to get Igor one more minute for free, So rather than that, I just want to quickly... Oh, right now I see that he's moving out, so I'm not gonna clear that mine anymore. And rather than that, I'm gonna kill this portion of units, so I initiate with the Ring of Fire to apply some damage, and you can see how Sniper goes like 1/3 part of his full HP. And my Eater coming from behind, almost 50% HP right now. And I'm about to leave one Skeleton Archer back. Alright, Bombardier Baron is being way too fast, so I can make it to him with the Eater. And Igor decided to get the Ballistas, because the Ballistas is sort of designed to deal with the mass armies like Skeleton Archers. But I'm not really sure if we have everything correct with Ballistas, but I'm personally not a fan of that unit, because strangely enough it can do great damage to the guys like the Eater sometimes, because they hit them with a few arrows at the same time, but I don't really believe that it does a great damage to the Skeleton Archers. I mean, like, if you have 10 Skeleton Archers and that's it, then probably Ballista's gonna deal with them, but again, the thing of this style is that you always reinforce, so you sort of play StarCraft 2 in War Legends. And interestingly enough, I don't even play a lot of StarCraft right now, being the StarCraft player initially, but I prefer to play War Legends, but I'm trying to play the StarCraft style still in War Legends, so I'm bored to play it there, but I'm fine to play it here. Probably that's not really not a considerable, but well, anyway, it is a bit weird point, but for some weird reason I like playing this style of mass units in War Legends, and you can see how this concept works, because you always present on the map, you always take objects and you take a lot of chests, and you can dominate your opponent in resources, even though you probably lose a lot. And you can see that Igor destroyed almost twice as many units, but it still didn't bring him the victory. So I thought you liked that concept. It is also not as easy to play for the light faction, but I'll see if I can make another video about it. And for today that's it. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.